I'm going to just take a minute. We have a unique thing in our school. We have a line of the students that are present at the test line up at the test. The purpose of this is to eliminate any kind of held problems about the test. One of the problems in martial arts schools is locker room talk. So I have a diverse group of students, from little kids, I've taught kids from 5 years old to 85 years old, and all different types of people. One of the things that happens in a martial arts program, like the rest of society, is people break up into cliques, like the teenage clique, the lady clique, the old guy clique. And so that's a societal thing. That happens all over our society. But when it happens in a martial art class, sometimes there's locker room talk about promotions. Because of what we do, we punch and kick at each other. That can be a potential huge problem. And instead of the martial arts school being a cohesive group of people that are all working together, it becomes even more split. So I'll give you an example. Somebody might say to any one of us four, well, those people can't be black belts because they're too old to be black belts. So somebody may make that comment in a locker room. Let's say, I'll use locker room as a comment. So some teenager may make that comment. If that comment was made, of course, like in the rest of society, it always gets back to the people that it was made about. So in a martial art program, that causes friction in the class. And then when we're out sparring, instead of it being a cooperative sparring match where we're working on each other's technique, there might be some hidden agenda, and people are hitting a little bit harder or going after the other person for that point. So we have a lot of ladies in this line, and the same thing, I could use the same example. Somebody could say, well, those women, like somebody that's entrenched in the 50s might say, well, those women can't be black belts. Women aren't tough enough to be black belts. And then, of course, that comment would eventually get back to them. And these are strong-minded, highly technical, determined women. So if that kind of comment came out of the locker room and they heard it, the same thing. There would be animosity on the floor when we're practicing together. So there's a few schools, people that I train with, peers that I practiced karate with, that have this line. So sometimes this line is like today, where it's predominantly black belts. Other times, it can be pretty extensive. I remember testing for second round, I think, and black belt, there was like 155 people on the line. So the purpose of this line is so that the rest of the school stands behind this promotion. So I've already said the board has promoted these people, but we want the school to stand behind them. So when a student walks the line and they salute to each person in the class, two things are happening. One, they're getting that respect from the students that they expect them to stand up and be black belts in the Greensboro Karate Institute. And second, it gives a person on the line a chance to solve any kind of question that they might have about whether or not this person is going to do that. So we don't ask verbal questions because everybody says things differently. And if somebody asks a verbal question, it might cause that animosity. So our way of answering questions is in our common ground, which is free sparring. So all kinds of questions have been asked on this line over the years. Bad attitudes, people showing up to class late all the time was a big one. I wasn't aware of that, and the rest of the line stepped out on every person, or every person in the line stepped out on that individual that historically had come to class late all the time, and the class didn't appreciate it. People hitting too hard in class, then they had a chance to solve that problem here. Also, things that are immediately on the test, like if someone was sparring and not blocking their head. This is the best way I have to describe this. The line or an individual in the line will give them the opportunity to show that they really can block their head. So a hypothetical situation, I'll take myself, say I was sparring out here on the test today and I wasn't blocking my head. Well, it might be because I'm overwhelmed with nervousness on the test and trying to get everything across. That doesn't mean that I'm not capable of blocking my head. So if Dr. Kaplan stepped out on me, his purpose would be to give me another opportunity to block my head. So this is not a blunt thing. He's looking at it as I'm helping him out. I'm going to give him another opportunity to block his head because, again, he may have been overwhelmed with nervousness during the test. Anyone that steps out on someone, the rules are it's a 4-minute match at the max. There are tournament rules, which is light contact to the head and medium contact to the body. If it goes 4 minutes, I'm going to ask the person if their question is answered. I'm also observing the match. If that question is not answered, I have to make a decision based on what I observed. If a person gets stopped on the line, then they have to test again. And that has happened as well. If someone would stop someone on the line, they also have another responsibility. Their responsibility is to reach out and help that person solve that problem for the next test. So they're not just willy-nilly going to get out here and stop someone and then have no responsibility. Their responsibility then is to solve whatever that problem was and then help that person get prepared for the next promotion. Any questions? Like I said, that look good? I'm working on my delivery. Yes.